Flight 527 ready for departure. Roger, Flight D07 approaching runway 7 Bravo.
The DJI Mini 2 was released 1 year ago and is still one of the best mini drones to buy if you're looking to get into the drone space. The reason the DJI Mini 2 is so popular is for a few reasons. First of all, this drone is really light, weighing in at 249 grams. This means you don't have to register the drone and you don't need a license to fly it recreationally. It's also a very small drone, which makes it very easy to travel with. And thirdly, the price is quite affordable, coming in at $450. If you've ever shopped around for a drone, you know that the prices can get expensive fast. And lastly, the camera on this drone is really impressive. You can shoot beautiful 4K video. You can also take raw photos. Really, it's a great drone for the online creator or for the hobbyist who wants to get their first photo or video drone. This drone does have some unique features that make it really professional and easy to use. So I'm gonna break down why this drone is a great purchase for the price, who should buy it, and overall my experience with this drone, the things I really like about it and the things I don't, all coming up.
You gotta just press record.
So first off, I wanna talk about the camera and the image quality. And as I show you footage from this drone, I actually have a special offer for you to get 3 months free of Epidemic Sound. So thank you, Epidemic Sound, for sponsoring this video. Now, if you've ever wondered what kind of music we use at Think Media, most of the time it is Epidemic Sound. They have a great library of music and sound effects. And actually during the intro of this video, all of those sound effects were from Epidemic Sound. They literally saved me so much time by just having all their sound effects right there, and you can search for the sound effect that you are looking for. And the best part is, with these sound effects and the music, you can use them in your YouTube videos and still monetize and make money on YouTube. Now, the music is fantastic too, and they have tons of music, and they're continuing to add more music to their website. With the search tools, their playlists, and even finding similar songs, it makes it really easy to find the music that you're looking for. Now, if you want to get your first 3 months for free, make sure to use our code ThinkFriday, and you can also use our link in the description. Now, this offer does end soon, so make sure you check the description and get signed up today. All right, so what did you think of the image quality? For $450, I know for me, I was super surprised, and I was really impressed with the image quality that I was getting out of the video on this drone. Like I said, you can shoot 4K up to 30 frames per second. You can also shoot in 2.7K up to 60 frames per second. And you can see right here, it still looks really, really good. It looks sharp, and you can slow it down to get some nice slow motion. You also can shoot 1080 up to 60 frames per second, but the quality just isn't as good as the 2.7K or the 4K. On this drone, you're not going to have any color profile, so you just have one standard look that you're getting out of this drone. But the cool thing is you can still grade it, kind of add your own touch to it in post. Though I wish it did have a flat image profile, you still get a really good image out of this drone just out of the standard colors. Now, when they announced this drone, they said that it's going to have a 4x zoom, and that's not really true. So let's talk about that. First of all, in 4K, you are able to zoom in 2 times. However, after looking at the footage side by side, what I realized is it's not really a 4K 2x zoom happening. And you can see this because if I take my regular 4K footage and I just scale it 200%, add just a little bit of sharpness to it, it looks the exact same. So really, this zoom that they are doing is completely digital, adding a little bit of sharpness. So it does look sharper, but you can do the exact same thing if you just shoot everything in 4K and then zoom in post. And these tests turn out the exact same for the 2.7K, which zooms in 3 times, and the 1080, which zooms in 4 times. And in all my tests, you don't get any more detail by using the in-app zoom. If you just scale your 4K footage, you are going to get the same exact detail as doing it in the zoom using the remote control. So for me, this feature is kind of useless because I'd rather just shoot in 4K and be able to crop in if I need to do that. Now, I didn't have any filters for this drone, but if you do want to buy some ND filters, you can buy them for this drone. Now let's talk about the ease of use and just kind of my impressions with using this drone and what you can expect. First of all, I have to say that I had so much fun flying this drone. It really was a blast. I was just out there kind of flying it around, getting cool different shots. One of the cool things, because it is so small, is you're able to fly it through into tight spaces, and I was able to do this to get some really cool shots, or even be able to fly it close to the ground to get get a really cool perspective. Now this drone does not have obstacle avoidance, so if you're going to fly it into something, it's not going to stop itself automatically. You do have to be very careful with this drone. And that's very typical when you see these drones under $500. They're not going to have obstacle avoidance. However, when you do lower your drone, it is going to sense the ground, and so it is not going to let itself just smack into the ground directly below it when you're trying to land it. You can do this very easily just by holding that down button. It's going to reach its point, and then it's going to slowly land the drone. I was also surprised with how quiet the drone is, and I think this is a plus because you don't want a loud drone at a park just gathering a bunch of eyes. You kind of just want to be doing your own thing, and because of this, most people don't notice the drone until it comes close enough.
Take off. The home point has been updated.
Now, as far as connections go, I had no problems connecting my phone to the remote control and then connecting it to the drone itself. The whole process was really fast and easy to do, and when you're actually up in the air, you have a very strong signal. I was flying the drone pretty far away and I had a perfect signal, no drop frames, no glitches, nothing like that. Everything was connected perfectly. And this is because of the new OcuSync 2.0. So the previous version had a Wi-Fi extended range type of connection, which is not as reliable as the OcuSync 2.0. And this gives you a 10-kilometer range, and that is a long distance. And I didn't even need to take my drone that far. I literally probably couldn't even see it at that distance, but it will stay connected, and I had no issues flying this drone. A great feature too is when your battery gets low, you actually have a return to home option. And this thing is just gonna send your drone straight up into the air. That way it avoids any trees or buildings. So if it gets too low and you're really far away, it's not just gonna fly back at the level that it's at. It's gonna go up to its maximum distance to avoid anything from, hitting, and then it's going to go all the way over to your home spot and then come straight down and land at home. And this was really, really accurate. Seeing the whole thing happen, return to home when I have my low battery, it actually made me feel really good. I knew that if I went out and I lost the drone and the battery was dying and I couldn't see where it was, that this was going to save me if I needed it. So I was really impressed with having that feature on this drone at this price range. As far as the build quality, this drone is high tech. I've used a lot of DJI drones in the past, and this is no different. When it comes to their drones, they are built really well. Even though it's really small and compact, this is going to do just fine in some winds. Of course, if it's crazy windy, I wouldn't want to fly my drone out there, but if there are winds outside, this thing is going to do just fine. The build quality for the controller is no different. This thing is fantastic, and I love how big this is because the battery is big on this thing. And with that, let's talk about battery life. And for the controller, this thing lasted all day long. Now, I had 3 batteries for the drone, and then you have the battery that is just built into the controller itself, and the controller lasted all day long and outperformed all the batteries. If you plan on flying your drone a lot, I definitely do recommend picking up those extra batteries. You do get about 30 minutes of fly time, which is pretty good, and so I was getting that. I was filming a lot, I was moving the drone around, and I still got about 30 minutes with each battery. However, if you're going on a hike and you want to stay light, I think I could see myself just bringing 1 battery, maybe a spare battery, so I have an hour flight time, which would be enough for me to get all the shots that I needed if I was just going on a hike or going somewhere where I wanted to get a couple cool shots. But one of the really cool things about this drone is you can plug USB-C into it and start charging it. So if I was on a hike, I could get 30 minutes of shots, and then I could take it down, put it in my backpack, plug it in, have it charge all day long, and then I could go out and shoot again. I think this drone is perfect for someone like me who wants to get really cool video, but they don't want to carry around a huge drone. The camera's amazing, it's portable, it's small, it's reliable. It's really a great drone, a beginner drone for most of the people out there. And I say beginner drone because you can always upgrade over time, but this is a great drone to get started if you just want to get in under $500. Now, if you're someone who's looking to create videos for YouTube, then click on the screen to check out our best camera for YouTube, and I'll see you guys in another video.